What is going on, everybody? Sports Expert here, and we are here with our Week 12 NFL Picks video. So we are now here for Week 12, and this week we did pretty well. Week 11, we went 10-3 so far. We still have Monday Night Football to go tomorrow. We have the Philadelphia Eagles winning that game, so we'll see how that goes. That should be a very good one. But before we start the video, please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Comment what you think. We do pick videos every week, and if you're an NFL fan, we do NFL content on this channel. And tons of football, so I'd appreciate that very much. So yeah, hit liking and commenting helps us in the algorithm, helps me, helps people look around on the platform, look for what they want to find, so I'd appreciate that very much. So then we'll start with the first Thanksgiving game, the 12:30 game. We will start with the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. This one's going to be straightforward for me. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions in this one. The Lions rarely lose at home. They love to play in Ford Field. Jared Goff is very adapted to Ford Field. Didn't have his greatest game today, but a bounce back could be likely here. So I'm banking on the Lions to bounce back here. The Packers have played better recently, and I do think this will be a tight battle towards the end, but I think the Lions kind of just stick it out and just win easy. At the end, it's like they pull away, so I don't know, maybe the Packers do something, but I don't know. It's kind of like, who do you trust more, Jordan Love or Jared Goff? I could see the case for Jordan Love. I'm going to go Jared Goff. That's just what my instinct tells me right now. The Lions will get to 9-2. The Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys just don't really lose at home. The Commanders just turn it over so much. It's a division rival game. I just don't know what to say about this one. Sam Howell just throws too many interceptions. The team turned the ball over 6 times a day versus the Giants, lost to Tommy DeVito. Give me the Cowboys, 31-14. I just don't see the Commanders. They're lifeless right now. Ever since the trade deadline, with Ron Rivera there, it's just a lifeless team, and there's a lot of issues going on. Give me the Cowboys. I really don't need to explain this one. We have the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. So Geno Smith did get injured today. He did have some swelling in his, I believe, tricep elbow area, so that's not ideal. So Seahawks, a very tough place to play at the Fan. But I'm going to take the 49ers in this one, 27-16. I think Brock Purdy, who's played very well over the last couple of weeks, will continue to gain his magic, and I just don't know if I can see the 49ers really just clamping up against the Seahawks team. They did lose Hufanga today to a torn ACL. That's pretty poor. That's a poor loss. Tough loss, but at the same time, I just don't think it'll be enough for the Seahawks to come out with a win here, especially if Geno Smith is not 100% or they have to go to Drew Lock. On Black Friday, we have our first Black Friday game ever. We have the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. Don't pick the Jets to win. I don't care if they're at home. I don't care what's going on. Just don't pick them. They have no quarterback solution. They don't know who's starting now. It could be Zach Wilson or Tim Boyle. It doesn't matter. Dolphins are going to win this game 30-12. Tua will do enough with his Mike McDaniel offense. He'll pass the ball down the field. I just don't see much for the Jets in this one. Should be pretty straightforward. We have the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. A less straightforward game. This could be a battle, an AFC South battle. 2 teams still trying to win the division. This is going to be a battle to the end, and this is going to be one of those games that's huge towards the end of the season in Week 12. But I feel like this is one of those games whose defense can make a stop in the end, but at the same time, you could also argue whose offense can make a big play at the end. I don't know. I mean, Desmond Ridder will be starting this game. It's very interesting for me. But I'm going to say the Falcons win this one. I've struggled with picking Falcons games over the years, but I'm going to pick the Falcons in this one. 26-20. I think Ridder will have a chip on his shoulder now that he's been benched. I think there will be a more adequate game plan from Arthur Smith here. I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. I think they're going to find a way to win it. I mean, the Saints, maybe they find a way, but I don't know. I don't think the Saints are that great at this point. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, both teams have pretty bad quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett versus Jake Browning. Are we really interested in watching that football game? If you're an AFC North fan like me, Browns fan, maybe, but not really if we're looking for good product. I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to win on the road. I'm not trusting the Bengals until we see them win with Jake Browning. I know Kenny Pickett's bad, but at the same time, I think the Steelers defense will do more than the Bengals defense. Who do you trust more? TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, or Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard? Both great duos, but I'm going to take the former with TJ Watt. So give me the Steelers in this one, 20-15. It's going to be an ugly game. It really is. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Carolina Panthers in this one. So Panthers, they're just a mess right now. They don't know who's calling the plays. They don't know who should be operating the offense. It's just very rough right now there in Carolina. So I don't see much upside in this one. I mean, Titans are playing pretty bad. This is going to be another bad game. Give me the Titans, though, 24-18. Will Levis will do enough. He hasn't played great, but at the same time, the offense just is kind of abysmal all around. So it's kind of hard to, judge Levis right now, even though I am one of Levis's biggest, haters or whatever you want to call it. But give me the Titans in this one. I think they'll find a way to pull out a win, a late season win, get the 4-7. Frank Reich, Thomas Brown, they have no idea what they're doing. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Indianapolis Colts. This could be an interesting game, too. I mean, these teams are looking for wildcard spots. The Bucs could even still win the AFC South with how weak it is. And I'm going to take the Bucs on the road. I've taken the Bucs a lot this season, especially in games like this where they're closer to their opponents. But I'm going to take them. I think Baker Mayfield's going to do something here. He might put out a signature win. Would be huge. And I just feel like this is one of those weeks where he's due for something. But the Colts, you never can underestimate them. Their offense can do things. And I think there's going to be a fair amount of scoring in this one. 27-24, it's not going to be like one of those low-scoring hillbilly-type games we're going to get from the Steelers and the Bengals. I'm going to say 27-24. Baker Mayfield has a signature moment in him, as Jim Nantz said a few years ago about Aaron Rodgers and the Richard Rodgers Hail Mary. That's Baker Mayfield in this game. We have the New England Patriots at the New York Giants. How about the Giants winning today? 31-19, forcing 6 turnovers against the Washington Commanders. Tommy DeVito, 3 touchdown passes, 18 for 26. So I think he may have thrown 200-something yards. Yeah. And the Patriots, they are coming off a bye, I believe. So I'm going to take the Patriots, though. Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, especially an undrafted one in Tommy DeVito. I think they're going to adjust much better in this game. The Patriots, now that they have more film on DeVito, it should be very obvious what Bill Belichick may want to do in this one. I'm going to take the Patriots 20-10. Whoever starts, Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi, Patriots go on and win. Jaguars, Texans, this might be a surprising result to you, but Jaguars, they played very well today versus the Titans. They destroyed the Titans at home. I know they didn't play great against the 49ers, but I think this is a team that's going to finally find an identity. And this Texans team, they've been riding high. They've won a few of their, I believe 3 out of their last 4. I think this is going to be one of those games where the Texans kind of just find a bump in the road, and it just kind of gets down from there. CJ Stroud threw 3 interceptions today. I don't know if that's great for his confidence despite the win, but I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one of a score of 32-13. I think this is going to be another blowout win for the Jaguars. They're finding an identity. Doug Peterson is finding what he wants to do for his team to win at 7-3. The Texans are going to find a bit of a slide here. It's going to be one of those slump games for DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud. Nothing bad, just a slump game. I just think the Jaguars will do enough here. The Cleveland Browns at the Denver Broncos, 4:05 game. Very interesting matchup. 2 teams that have solid defense play. I mean, the Broncos defense really struggled at the beginning of the year, but it's definitely gotten much better as of recent. But this is going to be an interesting one. You got DTR versus Russell Wilson. Obviously, the Broncos are going to have the quarterback edge in that game, but I'm going to take the Browns in this one. No bias here, but it just feels like it's going to be a defensive battle. That Browns defense is absolutely lethal. And you have a guy that could honestly be an MVP candidate in Myles Garrett. He's unstoppable right now. Garrett Bowles, very good tackle, but at the same time, is he the type of guy that's going to have the mental strength and the strength overall to stop Myles Garrett on a consistent basis? Maybe, but maybe not. I just don't know. It's just really tough to see. And this could be a game that goes either way. The Broncos are favored in this one, by the way. But at the same time, this one could go either way. I'm not too sure. I'm going to take the Browns in this one, though. I'm going to take the better defense. And I just feel like the Browns, they've been very good mentally this year. They've had a few game-winning drives. I feel like when it comes to mental strength, the Browns have that. They coach very well in close games. I believe, if I am correct, they are 4-0 in 3-point or less games. This is 4 points, but close enough. The Browns will take it. We have the Rams at the Cardinals. Interesting matchup here. The Cardinals look a bit better with Kyler Murray now. They played close with the Falcons. They beat the Falcons, and then they played close with the Texans. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what the Rams are really looking to do. They did win today, but it was very sloppy. Now they're going on the road. That Cardinals crowd is going to go nuts. I'm going to take the Cardinals in a division rival game in this one. I think the division rival will definitely put a chip on their shoulder. I think there's a lot to like with the Cardinals here. I'm going to take the Cardinals 23-21. I think Kyler being back definitely has given that team an upgrade, and it's definitely given the team some, like a motivation to play, to win the game. And no disrespect to Josh Dobbs. I don't think they didn't want him to play, but now that Kyler Murray's back, that name, Kyler Murray itself, they're going to want to play for him. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one. And I just feel like Jonathan Gannon, I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's great, but I don't think he's terrible. I think he's going to outcoach Sean McVay. I don't think Sean McVay coached a great game today despite the win. Give me the Cardinals 23-21. I'm not going to talk about this one much. Chiefs at Raiders. Raiders, they love playing for Antonio Pierce, but at the same time, I just don't see it here. Chiefs, Andy Reid will do his thing. He'll outcoach an interim head coach. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, just too much there. The Raiders, they're finally finding a bump after losing to the Dolphins today. They played a solid game, especially on defense, and if they can keep that up, this could definitely be a fight. I feel like this is one of those games that could be very close until the end, and then Kansas City pulls away. I just feel like Andy Reid will have the last off here. We have the Bills at the Eagles. I don't know what to say about this because the Bills, they've looked very up and down this year. They just haven't looked like a great team. They had a really good win today, 32-6 against the Jets, but at the same time, it's the New York Jets. You have Zach Wilson playing quarterback for that team. There's no need. Come on. Give me the Eagles in this one, 30-21. Eagles look like the best team in football right now. Great coaching. Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate. Didn't have the greatest start to the year. He's still kind of a one-read quarterback in my opinion, but at the same time, still playing very well overall. No doubt about it. Honestly, at this point, you could argue A.J. Brown should be an MVP candidate because he's kind of bailed out Jalen Hurts at times this year. But I'm just saying. But give me the Eagles in this one, 30-21. I'm not trusting Josh Allen to beat the Eagles right now. And then we have Ravens at Chargers. This could be an interesting one. I know the Chargers are coming off a tough loss versus the Packers today, but could this team be motivated? I don't know. We'll see. I think Justin Herbert, he needs that signature moment. That signature moment we were talking about earlier, he needs that. And if he can do it against somebody, it can be against his Baltimore team, especially at home in that dome where he loves to play it. I think the Chargers go out and win this one. I do. I do think it'll be very close. I think it's one of those games where the Chargers might end up having a comeback and winning this one. But because the Ravens, looking at it the last couple seasons, the Ravens have choked a lot of games. John Harbaugh has really struggled to coach in late games. So looking at it, if the Chargers can just make it close in the end, they have a shot. I think they can win this game outright. I really think people may underestimate the Chargers now just because of what's happened this past week. And I feel like the Ravens could honestly underestimate them as well. Give me the Chargers in this one. I think there's going to be a lot of offense. There's going to be guys that want to step up. Quentin Johnson had that tough drop today. He may step up. Keenan Allen's having the best year of his career at 31, 32 years old. I just think the Chargers, Joey Bosa is a humongous loss, especially without having Lamar. But I still feel like regardless of who is out there on the defensive line, it's still kind of going to be the same with Brandon Staley's defenses. But I just feel like if the Chargers are going to win this one, it's going to have to be in the shootout. And the Chargers are very capable of doing that. They've always been very capable of staying in shootouts with Justin Herbert being the quarterback. Give me the Chargers in this one in an upset, 33-27. And then we have Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings should have won today, lost to the Broncos, choked. The Bears should have won today versus the Lions, lost, choked. It's going to be the battle of the chokers in the NFC North. At home, the Vikings, will they win? I'm going to say yes. They will win 24-22. Very close game. This one's going to go down the wire. I almost picked the Bears in this one. Justin Fields versus Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs didn't look too bad tonight, but didn't look great. Some turnover issues. And that's kind of because it wasn't really his fault, the offensive line. I feel like this is going to be my take on this one. Whoever's offensive line steps up more in this one is going to be the winner of this game. Whoever's offensive line steps up to the challenge much more, I'm going to take that winner of that game. I'm going to say the Vikings barely do. It's going to be a very close game. There's going to be some field goals. There's going to be some punts. But I think there's going to be points in the end. 46 points combined. The Vikings win in a close one, 24-22. Eberflus makes a bad decision and people call for his job at the end of this game. That is my prediction. So I appreciate everyone being here. Sports Expert here. That is our picks video for the day. Appreciate everyone sticking around. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Comment what you think. I'm out, guys. Sports Expert here. Peace.